Hello, my name is Ron Kulas with Stay Sharp Broadhead Sharpening Guides. Today we're going to be talking about the F4 Broadhead Sharpening Guide. We get a lot of requests from customers of certain broadheads, and they ask us if we can come up with a sharpening system that will work for their heads. We've designed quite a few different broadhead sharpeners. This one happens to be for a broadhead that's small, but it's machined from a single piece of metal. The blades aren't removable, so the blades have to stay attached to the head the entire time. So we've come up with the F4 system. Now what you'll get with the F4 is the holder, and the holder is kind of unique in that it has some spring-loaded arms that will hold the diamond plates in place. Our customers like diamonds, they don't like stones, and so we try to accommodate that. So with this particular system, you will get 400 grit diamond, on the other side 800 grit, then 1200 grit, followed up by a buffing surface. And the buffing surface is a hard rock maple, so we'll be including all of the plates, some green buffing compound, and a broadhead holder. Now these heads can be very tiny, and after you've sharpened two of the edges, the remaining edges that you're left to hold are very sharp, and we don't want you to cut yourself. What some people will do is they will screw a small section of broadhead onto the arrow to serve as a handle. Well, that actually makes the matter worse in that when you put the head on, it allows you to pump while you're moving the head across the stones or across the diamonds. That actually worsens the situation. So having a piece of arrow is not a good idea. We've developed this holder which constrains the broadhead. It allows it to not rock once it's in place, and it protects your fingers while you're using it. So let me just go through this. Now this happens to be a new head, although I had bought from a fella online a very rusty set of heads, and I'm going to show you some pictures after the fact of the before and after of me taking that very damaged head and converting it back into a usable head. So with the spring-loaded arms, I can take a stone. In this case, being that it's a new head, I'm just going to start with 800 grit. I lay it on the guide, flex the arm, put it in. Same thing with the other stone, or diamond I should say, put it in, and now that holds it in place. There's side pressure keeping it toward the middle. Now the other thing that's neat about this F4 system is that we've got a blade tracking trough that runs right down the center. And when you're sharpening a 4-blade head, one of the blades has to remain in this trough. And what that allows me to do is to guide the blade. I can't twist the blade now. And because the blade is in a trough, I can't allow it to drift. All because of that trough. Now this head has a specific design to it, and the spacing between these two diamonds is dictated by this particular head. So what you'll need to do is place the head into the holder, darken the edges to be sharpened with Sharpie marker, any permanent marker, it doesn't matter what color, and marking it up allows you to see that you're getting 100% cleanup, that you've touched all of the metal. Now I'm finding that I have the most success by holding it in my hand, placing the broadhead into the slot, and simply moving it back and forth. Now you can slide the broadhead over the diamonds, or you can plant the broadhead on this arm and move the diamonds over the head. You can also lay it on the tabletop and do it. I don't find that as comfortable or as easy to do. I just like to hold it, move the head over the diamonds. When I see that I've got 100% cleanup and I've got a good edge, I can slide the broadhead out of the holder. Now this is, you need to pay attention here. If you lay your finger on top of this holder and slide the broadhead out, you are going to slice the end of your finger open. Be smart. Hold it on the back of the guide, slide the broadhead out. Give it 1/4 rotation to the next blade. Again, color it up with a Sharpie marker. Place it in the holder. Hold the broadhead in the broadhead guide. And the angle matches that of this manufacturer, and a lot of the heads that are 4-blade, the angle is 22.5 degrees. So you keep doing that for each edge, and you don't have to push hard. Let the diamonds do the work. People think that you need to push hard and you'll get done faster. All that does is damage the diamonds. You won't get done any faster. Alright, so now let's say I've got all 4 sides done. I can switch from 800, the first side was 400, now I'll switch to 1200. The same process, back and forth. Again, don't push hard. So after you've done all of the edges with the 1200 grit, then you can switch to the buffing side. Now I've already applied the green buffing compound to the plates, and this will be included. Alright. You're going to notice on these plates when you get them, there are micro grooves, little slots that cause a texture on the wood that helps the green buffing compound to cling. It gives it a surface to cling to. So there's a little roughness on the wood. Now, when you go to buffing, it's not the same process. You don't go back and forth. If you go forward onto the wood, you'll either scrape off your buffing compound with your newly sharpened edges, or you'll actually gouge into the wood and damage the wood. So, the proper procedure is to place it in there and only use a pulling stroke, a backward stroke. You can come right out of the slot. That's fine. You only want to use a backward stroke. And you'll notice right away that you're going to start seeing a mirror polish on the edge. Again, you don't use a lot of force. You're not trying to scrape that buffing compound. All you're trying to do is get a tiny micro burr, a polished leading edge. Again, when you get done, squeeze it by the back so you don't get cut. Give it a 1/4 turn. Place it back in the guide. Pulling only backwards. Now when this is all done, I'm going to show you some before and after pictures of what the head looks like before and what it looks like after I've gone through the steps on the F4 guide. So let's reiterate again. You're going to be getting the base. It's already mounted to a block of wood, gives you something of substance to hold on to. You'll be getting 400 and 800 plates, so 2 of those. 1200 and buffing, you'll be getting 2 of those. The green buffing compound and the holder. Now, in the instructions, it'll be very clear, but I want to also reiterate the point. Do not use oil or water on any of these diamonds or the wood surface. You're not building up enough heat. You're not going that fast. Water will cause these diamond plates to rust. Oil will cause the adhesive that bonds everything together to delaminate. You do not need oil or water. When you get done, blow them off. Take an old toothbrush. Sweep off the plates. That's all you need to do. There's no need for oil or water. You don't want water on the wood. You don't want water on these metal plates. They will rust. Alright, so that's the process. When I get done with this, I'm going to show you some before and after pictures of the very rusty head that I restored and this head that I sharpened for you here. So that is the F4 sharpening system from Stay Sharp. We also offer our replaceable blade sharpener for heads that you can remove the blades from, a fixed blade sharpener for 2-blade heads, our gray guide for doing heads such as Zeus, Iron Will, certain Magnus heads, and we'll be coming out with another sharpener for 2-blade heads similar to this, so watch for that soon. Thanks.